We're live. We're live. Are we live? I can't never tell with the little microphone button down there. I really need to learn how to use StreamYards, but I haven't done that yet. I can enter someone's stream, but I haven't investigated how to do it myself, you know? But we're going to make sure everything is set up. Those few little minutes where we're waiting to see how everything is doing. Okay. Shall we get this chat party started? Hi, my name is Rusty. If you've never been here before, this is my horror and heavy metal music channel where I talk about and review my favorite movies and talk about and rock to my favorite music. And yeah. So last month I decided it was a fun thing after I had done my collection video. I decided, well, am I going to have to redo this because I buy a lot of stuff? Then I said, well, people do these update videos. So I'm like, okay, well, so every month I'll just do an update video where I show my latest acquisitions that I added to my channel or my collection. And then I wouldn't have to do an entirely new breakdown of my whole collection. So if you go back in my videos, you'll be able to find, I think it's called My Entire Collection, the Director's Cut. That was everything. And then I made an update for September. And now we are going to make an update for October. So these are the CDs and films that I got, DVDs and Blu-rays that I got to add to my collection that I acquired in the month of October. And this way I don't have to make a whole new gigantic video. I can just do this. Yes, so I'm going to be talking about the music and the films that I got in. And that's quite a lot, actually. Sometimes I look down at my that came in this month videos, and I'm like, did you really buy that many? Well, obviously you did because the film fairy didn't drop them off in the middle of the night. So obviously you did buy that many. And this time there is quite a few. As usual, I will start with my music, the new stuff that I got. And that was my keyboard. The new stuff that I got in music-wise. So we're going to go with that. First, and I don't really know why I did this, I only had MC King, are you on? you know? So how's it going, MC King? What are you doing this evening? We had a good time in Battlefield the other day. Doing our little things. But yeah, so we're going to start with our CDs, my newest CDs for this month that came in October. Now, I already had this album, but I only had the single disc version. And I don't even really know why I did this because I don't really like instrumentals. But this is the 2-disc special edition, collector's edition of Nightwish Endless Forms Most Beautiful. and it's the orchestral version is the second disc of this CD. But I did listen to it and it's cool, but I really don't like instrumental, so I really don't know why I did this. Maybe I just wanted to throw more money at them, possibly. Um, there's so much shit I can't figure out exactly where to put it. But next we have Funeral for a Friend. I love Funeral for a Friend, and this is I've only got one CD left to buy. I like this. I like this a lot. I like the whole group. Funeral for a Friend. Uh, my favorite CD by them is a CD called Hours, and you know, but this album is really good. And that is, I think this is their third album, but I've only got one more that I have to get, and I will have all of Funeral for a Friend's albums. Next, I was real happy. I've been waiting for like 2 or 3 years for Bad Flower. This is the way the world ends. And this is how the world ends. And I love Bad Flower. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did yell at them on Facebook. The song 30 and Fuck the World, which was two singles that they released like 6 months ago. And I was extremely disappointed when I got this album, only to find out that those two songs are not on there. What kind of moron releases a single between albums, but then doesn't put it on the new album? I even had to look it up on Google. I was so upset. I'm like, where are those two songs? And it's like, oh, well, we decided not to put them on the album. Well, how do we get them? Well, I went looking for the singles. I'm like, well, maybe I just have to buy the single, but I couldn't find the singles. And it's like, I guess you'll have to, MP3 it or something. And I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. Look, I'm not paying you for an MP3. I'm just not going to do that. I can get an MP3 at any time. Sorry, but I can. You might not like it. You can call it hee hee yaha. You know, yo, matey, call me a pirate, whatever you want to do. But you had no business leaving them off this album. And interestingly enough, the song they left off 30 and Fuck the World and put on two songs that were absolutely horrific. I'm talking, and this is no insult to Britney Spears or Celine Dion, but if Britney Spears or Celine Dion heard these two songs, they left off 30 and Fuck the World to put these two songs on here. Celine Dion would look at them and go, "What the fuck? You need to man up, dudes. You're supposed to be a rock band." I mean, that's the reason, that's how horrible radio poppy these two songs that they put on this album instead of 30 and Fuck the World. It just makes no sense. This is a punk rock, skate punk band, and you put something on there that even Celine Dion would call you a pussy for. That made no sense. But I'm still glad that they made this album, and all of the songs, I don't really care for three of them, so it's like 9 songs are really good. So I mean, I consider it, that's fine, because the 9 songs that I do love on this album, I absolutely love to death. So this is How the World Ends by Bad Flower. I would still buy the album, of course. I absolutely love the album. I just despise those 3 songs. Next, we have this is a band called Operator. It's headed by Johnny Strong. If you don't know who that is, he is a B movie actor, usually in action movies like Saints and Sinners and stuff like that. What's interesting about him, this CD is called Operator. That's the name of the band. They this Johnny Strong sounds so much like Chris Cornell. It's not even funny. I mean, if you closed your eyes, you would think Chris Cornell was singing on this album. And this is the only one that they've ever released physically. There's like, I think he's got 4 or 5 more, and it's only digital from his website. And I'm like, what the fuck's up with that? But I absolutely love this album. It's harder than Soundgarden, and it's harder than Audio Slave. But so if you could imagine Chris Cornell like being in a even grungier, hard grunge, it really walks the line between post grunge and heavy metal. And so I love Operator, and I'm great to have gotten a hold of this album. So yeah, now we move on to this is Annette Olson and Russell Allen. Russell Allen is the lead singer of Symphony X and he's been around a long time in various heavy metal bands. And he did a duo album with Annette Olson. Now, everybody, if you've been around my channel, you know I'm an absolute fanatic for Annette Olson, which we'll get to that word here in just a minute. But in 2020, she did a duo album with Russell Allen, and it's called, they call their collaboration Allen Olson, and this is an album called Worlds Apart, and this is an absolutely phenomenal album. Very, very, it's very traditional metal. A little bit of symphonic in it, but mostly just, it sort of reminds me of, I guess, the level of Ozzy Dio type metal. So very traditional metal, and it's called Alan Olson, and this is Worlds Apart. I am so glad to have this. Now we come to my favorite. I have never been so excited for a CD. Once I got my hands on this, since Love Bites. I discovered Love Bites. That's my favorite power symphonic metal band is Love Bites. And I discovered them in 2017. I have not heard anything that moved me so intensely since the Love Bite albums as this right here. This is Annette Olson's solo album. Came out, I guess, three and a half weeks ago now, and it's called Strong. This album, she like took it up a notch. Now, if you don't know who Annette Olson is, who the hell are you? She is the former lead singer of Nightwish, and she is the current lead singer of The Dark Element. And this is her solo album that came out about 3.5 weeks ago. And she definitely took it up. It's the Dark Element is very symphonic metal. It almost sounds exactly like Nightwish with a little tiny harder edge. She took her Nightwish symphonic metal sound and infused it with power metal and thrash metal. So this album is like a lot harder than either one of the Dark Element albums, harder than anything she's did with Nightwish, and of course harder than Alan Olson, which is traditional metal. There is a lot of speed and thrash mixed with symphonic on this album. If if you are in love with Love Bites, power metal, thrash metal, Nightwish, symphonic metal, you really need to pick up this album. She has really outdone herself with this. So yes, that's Annette Olson's new solo album called Strong. And I have been listening to this over and over and over. It is so fucking good, you know. So that's my CDs that came in October. As soon as I can get my hands on it, Lords of Black just released a new CD, and I've been hunting everywhere for it. They are sold out on their website. but I will be getting it as soon as I can find it. So that's my CDs that came in for October, and now, goodness gracious, we can move on to the films that I have collected this for October. So during the month of October, I bought and received these following films. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, well, never mind. I was wondering where a certain somebody was, but okay. So we are going to now go through and talk a little bit about my film acquisitions for this month, for October. And we'll start off with the first stack. Well, no, I want to do this first. This was just like really fucking cool. I don't know if I'm sure some of you out there have this, but this is Stranger Things, the first season of Stranger Things. This is the coolest fucking packaging. First of all, it looks like it's it's smooth, it's brand new. I took it out of the shrink wrap, yet it still looks like an old beat up VHS tape. Isn't that cool? And I just thought that was the neatest looking thing. And then when you take it out, it looks like a VHS tape. Okay. So it looks like a VHS tape, and it has a flip open, and you have the Blu-rays. This is the Blu-ray for the first season of Stranger Things, and it comes with a little booklet and a poster. It's got a little poster that comes in it. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. These are the Blu-rays with the episodes on them. And obviously put something in wrong. There we go. So yeah, Stranger Things. Looks like an old VHS tape, but it's actually the Blu-rays. I just thought that was cool as hell. And the packaging looks like an old VHS tape. So that's cool. That's really, really cool. I like that. It wasn't very expensive either. The second and third season seems to be outrageous. I don't understand that. Why is the first season so cheap? But the second and third season is just outrageous. So yeah, Stranger Things, the first season. These go down into my need to put into my collection. Now we're going to. This is a silly little movie, a silly little creature feature called Stung, about giant wasps. Pretty slipcase, and it's got a reversible cover in it. So yeah, I can handle comedy horror every once in a while, especially if it involves silly things like, like eight-legged freaks and things like that. So yeah, we have Stung, the ultimate buzzkill. Watch the trailer for it. It's very interesting. Now this is a horror movie called Harpoon, the Whale Watcher Massacre. Heard really good things about this. This is the unrated. It's takes place on a whale watching boat, and a serial killer is loose on the whale watching boat. And yeah, it's like I'm not going to go into a full review of each one of these. We'd be here forever. So Harpoon Whale Watching Massacre. This is a movie called Absentia. I love the director of this movie. And I think this was his first movie. Don't ask me. I mean, I could look up each one of these for you, but basically I'm just showing them off. Absentia, one hell of a horror movie from Fangoria. So yeah, I was really excited to get a hold of this. Now I have it. Absentia. The original Tony Todd with Candyman. With the coming of the new movie, this made me want to make sure that I had them, and I could not find the Candyman movies in my collection. So, whatever, I just bought it again. So, we have the original Candyman, which I'm sure everyone is familiar with. The unrated director's cut of Drag Me to Hell to add to my horror collection. Very excited about that. Yes, it is. Nice. Really excited about this. Wes Craven. Wes Craven. The People Under the Stairs. Yes, I really wanted to be, I've wanted this for quite a while. It sat around on my wish list. I finally pulled the trigger. I mean, like there's 200 movies on my wish list at eBay at any given time. So, I finally got this, The People Under the Stairs. Yeehaw. Scared the shit out of me as a teenager. It's a really good underrated movie in my opinion. It should be in every horror fan's collection. The People Under the Stairs from Wes Craven. Okay. 247 degrees Fahrenheit. This has Scott Taylor Compton, it's got Tyler Mane in it. Interestingly enough, both of them are in Rob Zombie's Halloween. And this is a movie that they were both in called 247 Degrees Fahrenheit. About three people who are locked in a sauna. And yeah, we'll see how that goes, right? But I heard good things about it as well. So glad to have that. This is the unrated version of a movie called Pulse. If you've ever heard of that. I, of course, will always get the unrated director's cut, extended cuts of a movie. People were like telling me, don't do that with Rob Zombies. I like the unrated cuts and the director's cuts better than the original. I do not have Twitter syndrome. I like it long. And the director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is like 25 minutes longer than the theatrical cut. No, I want the whole thing. So, yes, that's the unrated version of Pulse. Sort of a spooky ghost story about. It's sort of like Unfriended a little bit in that it's in the atmosphere, in the internet kind of thing. So, yes, Pulse. I like action movies as well, and I was told that the two Machete movies were really good. So I got this one in. I also have the second one ordered, so it will be in next month's. That's what I did for Halloween. I bought a bunch more movies. But I do have Machete 2. Machete Kills, I think it's called. I have it coming, but yeah, so I got in Machete. I'm not a big fan of Danny Trejo, but he's all right. I like him and stuff. But I don't hate him. I don't love him. I don't hate him. He's all right. But yeah, I heard this was really good, so I got Machete. Stack number 2. Okay, that's incorrect. I'm missing a movie that I had together. There it is. Don't you fucking hate that? You put stuff in order and then all of a sudden they're not. So this is Tremors 5 Bloodlines and Tremors Shrieker Island, which completes my Shrieker, my Tremors collection. I now have all of the Tremors franchise, so yay! I can do a run. I can do videos now on on the entire franchise. So yeah, Tremors 5 Bloodlines and Tremors Shrieker Island. Got the Blu-rays of those, so that's nice. This is a Halloweeny movie that I wanted called Husk. It's one of the few scarecrow type movies. So yeah, that really interested me. It's got good reviews that are reviews that I consider um, worthy of me paying attention to in any event. And so yeah, we have Husk. What is that fucking glare? It's like the glare is strong, man. Husk. I know. I'm like trying to figure out how to deal with the glare. What is that? It's not. It doesn't do that in the other videos. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Not everything I buy is horror, just mostly everything. But yeah, I wanted to add that to my collection. So I heard it was really good. So yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Harley Quinn, also known as Margot Robbie. But you know, um, an interesting older little indie movie called Kill Theory. It's one of the After Dark Horror Fests, 8 films to die for. It's called Kill Theory. So yes, I like that. I love my little indie out of the way movies, and this is another one. This is Panic Button, Massacre at 40,000 feet, 30,000 feet. Let's not get too high. So we have Panic Button, Massacre at 30,000 feet. That looks interesting. The 6 movie collection of Paranormal Activity got all 6 films, the unrated versions. So that should be fun. I can do videos on them now. Out of the Furnace, Christian Bale, a Christian Bale movie that I really liked the sound of in the trailer for. This is a movie called Farmhouse that I read about. Says it borders on torture porn, but not in the bad way. So we'll see. It's got the guy from Wings, the brother. He was also in Single White Female. He was Bridget Fonda's boyfriend that got killed with by Jennifer Jason Leigh. Farmhouse. Murder Party. I know, probably comedy horror, but I have been picking up a few of them lately, trying to get into it. So yes, we have Murder Party. I heard it was cool. and silly. There's also a second one that I've got on my wish list. Bad Kids of Crestview Academy. That glare is driving me crazy, really. I'm trying to see. What is that from? Yes. So that they say the first one like was really stupid, but this one was really good. So like unlike usually, it's usually the first one that's good and the sequels are terrible. This is supposed to be the opposite. The first one was really bad, and yet this one is excellent. So I wanted Event Horizon for my collection. So I'm glad I have that. Sam Neill. Yes. Classic one that everybody needs. Everybody knows I'm a Jason Statham fan since his very first movie, which I saw in England. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That was his first movie. It's where I was introduced to him. But I loved his version of Death Race, so I finished my collection of the Death Race movies. Death Race 2 unrated, Death Race 3, Death Race 3, yeah, unrated, Death Race 4. What do they call it? Beyond Anarchy. Yeah, so I finished up all the Death Race movies. Now I have all 4 of them. I'm not a Fast and the Furious guy. I am a Death Race person. So, and we have the unrated version of The Unborn. Trailer looked great. It seems to fit all of my criteria, so I think it'll be good. Unrated. I heard about this. I really wanted this Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I think that's going to be cool. So, yeah, I'm glad to have it. I already, in the last video I made, I had gotten Zombieland and I wanted the sequel. So, we have Zombieland Double Tap. Now I can actually watch them together. So that's cool. I was looking for a movie called Truth or Die. It's a British horror movie, and I did find someone that had it, and then they turned out to not have it, so they had to give me my money back. That pissed me off because it's like impossible to find. But while I was looking for it, I found this Truth or Dare. So I'm like, okay, $4.99, brand new, unrated director's cut. Yeah, we'll see. It's got good reviews, so I mean, I think I'll like it. Truth or Dare. Don't laugh. Valerian. Yes, 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 yes. I love comic book movies, and I do love Valerian. Actually, I like looking at him for 2 hours. I fell for him in A Cure for Wellness. People are like, yeah, but he looks so pale and stuff, and that. I'm like, that's the way I like him, okay? But I love Valerian. I love big, epic movies like this, and I am fine with this movie. I liked it. So laugh at me if you wish, but I love Valerian, and I have it on Blu-ray now. Now we have the Ghost Story, Lovely Molly. I've never been a like huge fan of that subgenre, like The Conjuring and stuff, but I've gotten into them a little bit more lately. So yes, Lovely Molly. And we're still on that with Ouija. People are like, oh, it's so boring, it's so slow. I like movies like that, to tell you the truth. Just nice little comforting, spooky movies. So we have the Blu-ray of Ouija. I also just ordered the sequel, which is a prequel. The I'm not a big fan of found footage. I like VHS. I like Blair Witch. I like a few here and there, but I'm not like a huge fan. But I really wanted this, As Above, So Below. So the trailer, um, found footage is all right to me if it's done correctly. And yeah, so As Above, So Below. It's found footage, but it's filmed acceptably. I don't like the kind of camera work that makes you nauseous. So I don't like the kind of camera work, that makes you too nauseous or whatever that they sometimes do. Like the original Cloverfield, I hated that movie. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane, but as far as the original Cloverfield, that movie made me want to puke. The camera work is just so bad. But VHS, I love. VHS 2, I love. Um, so yeah, I think I'll like As Above, So Below. The werewolf movie, Bear, the synopsis and the ratings and everything, people seem to like this movie. So I am kind of interested in seeing. I know one of the scenes they describe is very, I don't know if I want to see that, but I think it will be okay. So yeah. Dennis Quaid's movie, his sci fi horror movie, Pandorum. I wanted this in my collection, so I'm glad to have it in my collection. Yes, Pandorum. I heard it scared the shit out of you. So now this is this next movie and my final one of the collection video. I had to pay out the ass to find this thing, but it's a German horror movie called Antibodies. Now, this movie was marketed, and it's got a super high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, on International Movie Database. And I mention that not because I care about that. People know my view of people who call themselves critics, but I will mention it in a situation like this because, like, hey, if all of the assholes who hate horror give it such a high rating, there must be something to it. It must be extra special. And that's what I heard. It's marketed, it even says so on the back that this is supposed to be, it's basically the German version of Silence of the Lambs mixed with Seven. Now, both of those movies scared the absolute shit out of me. And so this is it. So supposedly it's a masterpiece of that type of horror. And so, yeah, I had to pay a pretty penny to get a hold of this. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited to sit down and watch it. It's a serial killer type movie, of course, about them tracking a serial killer, and a bunch of other stuff goes on around it. And it even says on the back that it's a cross between Seven and Silence of the Lambs. I mean, they actually put that in the writing. So it has huge favorable ratings. People call it a masterpiece. So I'm very glad to have it in my collection. And that's it. That is my October acquisitions of CDs and films. And that's the final one, Antibodies. And yep, that's it. You know what I mean? So thanks, MC, for dropping in. I guess you were the only one. Yeah, how long? 40 minutes? So, yeah, that's it. Like I said, sometimes I look down at my collection and I'm like, did you really buy that many in just 1 month? Yes. All of the stuff that you saw right there was movies that I bought um, and received during the month of October. So I've already had one little buy fest where I bought a bunch more. So I mean, I don't think that I just buy stuff willy nilly. I actually have to have read about them, interested in them, and want them. So I don't just buy stuff to have it. I actually, for whatever reason, I wanted those. I mean, I'm not going to do it otherwise. I did. I have bought, well, what did I do? I bought three digital movies because I couldn't find them anywhere for less than 20 bucks, which I'm not going to do unless it's like a really special edition. I bought Adrian Barbeau's movie, Unearthed, um, about the two farming families, and one of them leases their land to a fracker and it unleashes some kind of plague type thing, ancient evil. Robert Patterson did a movie called High Life, a science fiction movie. I bought that digitally, and there's one more or two more. What is it? Um, the Wolf of Snow Hollow. It was very expensive to buy, so I ended up buying it digitally on Vudu as well. So yeah, I bought Unearthed, uh, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and High Life. I was going to buy candy corn, but it went off sale, so I have to wait for another sale before I buy it. I think they had their like Halloween flash sale, so I picked up Unearthed, um, The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Oh, and The Quiet Man. I've heard so much raving about how wonderful The Quiet Man is, and that's another movie that cost over 20 bucks to get a hold of a DVD or Blu-ray of it. So yeah, four: Unearthed, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, um, The Quiet Man, and the other one that I said. Yeah, so bought those and all of that. So I am definitely a movie addict, but come on, okay, come on. I could be, at least I'm not addicted to anything bad. I mean, there's a lot worse things I could be spending all of, my money, my entertainment money on, drugs, alcohol, hiring a hitman. There's things I could be doing. So, you know, that's my entertainment: movies, music, and games. I just bought the Division 2 Ultimate Edition. So, it's games, music, and movie for me. I appreciate anyone who watches this later. Those are the additions for October to my gigantic, ridiculous movie collection. And I will see you all in the next video. I've still got two more Resident Evil um, installments to get through. And then I'm also got to again to be finishing up my top 10 Nightwish songs of all time. So that's in my Rock With Me series. So yeah, thank you for watching this later. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening whenever you see this. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. And keep rocking very hard, as I say, on my rock series and on my um, thanks, MC. And then on my movie series, I say keep screaming, stay scary, keep screaming when appropriate. I'm glad for anybody who tuned in. I really enjoyed showing off my new additions to my collection. and I will see you all in the next video when, which should be the last two installments of Resident Evil. And yeah, so have a good evening. Enjoy the month of November. Um, oh, hey, 50 something. Yeah, I was just showing off my new stuff, my new CDs and stuff like that. I can show off my new CDs again. I can't go through all those movies, but have you heard about Annette Olson? My Annette Olson's new solo album, Strong. I have not had, I have not run across an album that has thrilled me as much as this since Love Bites. This, I put it right up there with the Love Bites albums. This solo album of Annette Olson's that she just put out about 3.5 weeks ago knocks me to the floor. She added power metal and thrash to it. New Love Bites on the way. I saw something. Wasn't it? Isn't it just a greatest hits album though? I remember seeing something about it, but I didn't pay much attention because it's just a greatest hits album. And since, I mean, I don't know what a greatest hits album would do for me since I have all of Love Bites albums, unless they do something different on it. But yeah, this album, she added thrash and power metal to her symphonic metal roots. This is a really, really, really hard album. It's shocked me. And then I got her 2020, she did a duo album with Russell Allen from Symphony X, and it's called Worlds Apart, Alan Olson. This is just traditional metal. Plus two unreleased and all videos and instrumental versions. I mean, I'll check it out and see what it is. I'm still disappointed about Miho leaving, and I'm still wondering. I know, I know that Asami just got married, but I know she said she put out that statement where she assured, I guess, everyone that Love Bites was still going to be going and that she will still be the singer, but disappointment in life is natural, and I always expect the worst until you show me something different. So when I see Love Bites get a new bassist and, you know, go back to work, I'll believe it. Until then, I just pray that there's not. But yeah, check out Annette Olson's solo album and the Dark Element albums. And I don't think I have it. Well, yeah, I bought the 2 CD version of that. Oh, I don't mind them changing. I mean, I don't mind. You know, if Mio wanted to leave, Mio can leave. But I was talking about me not being sure that they are going to continue. Um, you know what I mean? That's what I'm concerned about. Asami says they will. Okay, well, for them to continue, they've got to get a new basis. So when I see them get a new basis and announce that they have a new basis, um, I'll know that they are going to continue and put out a new album. So that's what I'm worried about because we always worry about, you know, our favorite things. It's like, oh no, now you're going to take it from me. You know, the universe. You like, okay, the universe brought me Love Bites. Now the universe is going to take Love Bites away from me. So, but, you know, I guess even if they were to never come back, we have what, 6, 7 fantastic albums. So, you know, I'm just going to hope that we do. Asami said that they were. She said in that statement she released that she was still going to be the lead singer of Love Bites and that Love Bites will continue. So I will trust her about that. That's what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, I know you are a big fan of Love Bites, and I, as a big fan of Love Bites, tell you that I don't know how you feel about Nightwish or the Dark Element. I hope so. Yes, I hope they put out new albums. But like I said, I don't know how you feel about Nightwish or the Dark Element. The Dark Element's a little bit harder than Nightwish, um, but adds a little speed to it. But this right here is in Love Bites territory. I mean, I love Annette. Well, I love all Nightwish. I love Floor. I love Tarja. I love Nightwish. You know, good, good, yeah. And I love Nightwish. If you've watched my series where I'm acting the fool and headbanging to my top 10 Nightwish songs, I love Annette. I love Floor. I love Tarja. And Annette has been on fire. She has been on fire in the last 5 years. She's put out, she formed that new band with Stradivarius guitarist, The Dark Element. They put out two albums. She did the Alan Olson duo, and now she's put out a solo album all in the last 5 years. And she has definitely been on fire. But this is the hardest thing I have ever heard Annette do is this album. Um, Adding thrash and speed, it's almost like she saw Love Bites. I believe that too. Yeah, I love them all. But when I heard this album, I'm like making you buy it. I'm just letting you because you can go and listen to it. You can go into YouTube and listen to this. Just listen to the Annette Olson Strong album. That's what I did before I bought it while I waited for it to come because I bought it on the day it was released because I love Annette. I had no idea that it was going to sound the way it did. And when I heard this, I thought to myself, you know, did she did she see the popularity of Love Bites? Because she made an album that sounds an awful lot like a Love Bites album. Thrash, speed, prog. The album is just, I was blown away by this album, especially Catcher of My Dreams and Parasite and Fantastic Fanatic. Um, I was shocked. I was shocked when I heard this album, which I guess I shouldn't have been, but I just thought it was going to sound like The Dark Element. I knew that Alan Olson was going to be traditional metal like Ozzy and stuff, and it is. And she is very good at that traditional metal as well. But I thought that her solo album was going to be like The Dark Element. I had no idea she was going to add thrash metal like Love Bites does and speed metal into her symphonic. So I was pretty much blown away by this. And yes, I would urge any metalhead to either go onto YouTube and listen to this album and go support her and buy it, or just buy it. You know. But if you love Love Bites, you should love this album. And yeah. So thanks anybody. Thanks everyone. I'm glad you caught it 50 and dropped by so that I could talk about Love Bites and push a net. But like I said, I've still got 5 songs to go on my top 10 Nightwish, which I'll be uploading as well as on my movie side. I've got 2 more Resident Evil to do. So thanks everyone for stopping by. 50, you can go back and watch it from the beginning to see all the movies that I added and the other CDs that I got, which was Bad Flower and Funeral for a Friend. But I am going to hop off here and Thank you very much, 50, for speaking, and MC King for dropping by. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay scary and keep screaming and keep rocking hard. Later, guys.